You want to solo farm up to 1 million aUEC per hour and pick up a few Wikelo Favors on top, plus optional cargo and gear along the way, then you are in the right place. We walk you through all 8 Gilly Flight School missions step by step. Compact, clear, no fluff. Our focus is maximum return for minimum effort, clean and reproducible. No tricks, engines on, let's go. Before we start, a quick frame so we see the same field. Gilly Flight School has 8 missions. You unlock them in sequence in the Stanton area. Your progress is tied to the current location and system, Hurston, Crusader, and so on. If you move to a different area, you start the chain again at 1. If you play with friends, there is one iron rule. The original contract owner must stay in the mission area. If the host leaves, the mission fails for everyone. For orientation, we use a simple traffic light. Orange means low payoff, yellow is medium, green is high. The most recommended missions get a small green plus. Those are your go-to choices for the best return at the lowest effort. And yes, there are unsanitary or extreme variants that need special ships or not so clean techniques. We will mention them so you know what the community talks about, but we do not show them. This guide is about reliable, reproducible, patch-safe, and clean runs. Ready, first mission. As a rule of thumb, missions 1 to 3 are ideal for beginners. Missions 4 to 6 suit intermediate pilots. Missions 7 and 8 are for experienced players or for groups. This is the warm-up for absolute beginners. You find it under Mercenary in your contract manager. On our scale, this sits in yellow. Not super profitable, not terrible either. And you need to clear each step once to unlock the next missions. Mission 1 gives you single targets. Relax. It is the perfect place to build routine and fix mistakes before we start printing money. Classic starter ships are enough. Aurora, Mustang, or Cutter. We fly conservative and easy to follow. Control is the foundation. Stay in SCM speed, avoid overspeed, use small strafe inputs instead of nervous rolls. Work at about 600 to 900 meters. Only go closer if the angle is clearly yours and you still feel in control of your ship. Your aim indicator, the PIP, is king. Fire short, disciplined bursts. Do not glue the trigger. If you want the same HUD look and combat basics we use, check our Space Combat Guide on the channel later. Before a fight, do 2 things. First, turn on your HUD overlays. Hold F, open the HUD tab, enable the 3 options. Now all relevant flight info sits in your view. Second, set your power distribution. Push maximum power to weapons and shields. You can borrow a little from engines. Early on, it is safer to soak a hit than to try fancy evasion. Biggest risk in Mission 1 is not the enemy, it is collisions. Look at the scene, not only the marker. Use asteroids as cover if needed, but respect the hitboxes. Your opening tactic is simple. Create distance. Let shields recharge. Then, re-engage. 2 or 3 clean passes are faster than 1 chaotic brawl that ends in a crash. After you clear the required waves, take a short look around. Ship weapons, small pieces of gear, even armor from downed pilots can be salvaged. As a beginner, that is an easy way to upgrade your starter loadout step by step. Ready for multiple targets, next is Mission 2. Same cool head, more contacts. The plan is simple. Cycle targets with T when they are on screen and pick 1 lead target to remove first. Keep the rest in peripheral vision and avoid the sandwich between 2 cones of fire. Work the isolated target calmly before you switch. Otherwise, you tag many ships and take more damage over time. If your shields get thin, it is not shameful to dip behind a rock or other line of sight blocker. Recharge, then go back in, still on your selected target. Asteroids are danger and tool at the same time across this whole mission line. Break line of sight when needed. Force enemies to dodge obstacles. Suddenly you fight single, not multiple. Time budget is roughly 3 to 5 minutes depending on spawns and aim. aUEC and Scrips are background music here. The value is skill, isolation. Error-free rhythm under pressure. On our scale, mission 2 stays yellow. Quick and solid, but not a farming heavyweight. That is fine. It makes you fit for mission 3, where the first real quick payout awaits. Now we draw the order line. Target priority is our first green plus. This is the first step where you feel real income and you prepare everything that later powers missions 5 and 6. Switching to an agile light fighter helps, Gladius, Arrow, Wolf, and so on. If you still feel good in your starter ship, that is fine. More firepower simply makes the run faster. Medium and heavy fighters also work very well. Our advice for newcomers is to earn at a steady pace and then upgrade to a medium or heavy of your choice with an in-game purchase. Execution stays elegant. Decide who leaves the field first and keep that order. Pick the hardest hitter first to reduce the damage you could take. Shields crumbling? No drama. Reduce speed, change course by 30 to 60 degrees, let them tick up, re-engage. One key skill for the future is learning to switch between coupled flight and decoupled flight. In decoupled, you are harder to hit and you survive longer even against tougher ships. It is a broad topic. We explain it calmly in our Space Combat Guide on the channel. The real magic of Mission 3 is tempo. If you keep the order under control, you can chain this mission. Enter, sort clear, next contract. Expect about 3 to 6 minutes per run depending on spawns and accuracy. It is not the jackpot, but around 50,000 aUEC for a few minutes is already nice. On our scale, this is the first green with a plus. Recommended, a clean step for speed and income without needing bigger ships. Next up is Mission 4, short, green, fast, and a bump to about 70,000 aUEC. Mission 4 is the efficient sprint that keeps your pulse high without wasting time. Any fighter class works, light like Gladius, medium like Sabre, or heavy like the Mirai Guardian MX. Hull does not matter, approach does. We control the fight with information. Ping deliberately, scan with intent. Remove the small, fast contacts first. They have low signature and may drop off radar, but they also die fast. More firepower means faster payment here. The only real threat is the environment. Watch where you fly. Handle the 3 small contacts one after another. Lock one, stay on it, even if it fades for a moment, then move to the next. The big final contact looks impressive, but it is mostly a distraction sponge. It soaks some damage, but does not threaten you. Your go-to tactic here: identify, lock, remove with precision. On our scale, Mission 4 is a clear green. One of the easiest and fastest missions. 3 quick kills, and 1 bigger target that is harmless. Expect a few minutes for roughly 70,000 aUEC. Welcome to the first sweet spot, green with a plus. Mission 5 is training for timing and nerves, which is why it pays so well. If you fly clean, you cut time to kill, stay intact, and turn each run into quick aUEC and scripts. Good news, any fighter class works. Light, medium, or heavy. Use what feels precise in your hands. The Guardian MX shines with calm turns and stable shields. A light fighter wins on agility. Missiles are the topic, but not as fireworks. Your biggest lever is countermeasure timing. When the tone sings, do not panic. Short CM burst. defined course change. Then back on the pipe. No spam, no wild rolls. Break the lock and use the saved attention to finish the target. If the game hands you a perfect angle, you can send one missile to speed up the end. Otherwise, guns do the job. Consistency is cheaper. Keep power management pragmatic. Before the first window, push a touch to weapons. In maneuver, bring it back to balance so shields hold. If the nose bubble thins, roll the strong side into the fight. Reduce speed a hair, let shields tick, re-engage at once. Work distance around 900 to 1,400 meters. If the scene gets noisy, dip behind a rock for a quick reset, then pressure again. That costs seconds and saves minutes. Expect about 5 to 10 minutes per run depending on spawns and server mood. That cadence supports our solo loop. On our scale mission, 5 is green with a plus, clearly recommended. Over 100,000 aUEC, some scripts on the side, and the best sweet spot for fighters from light to heavy. This is our second sweet spot, green with a plus, with one caveat. You face 2 smaller fighters and 1 multi-crew ship with 2 turrets that can pressure you from many angles. The trick is order and geometry. You do not fight everything at once. You break the pack and keep the big ship out of line of sight. Any fighter class can clear this. For solo, we recommend a heavy with strong firepower, otherwise the mission drags and the profit drops. Pull the small, fast escorts first and remove them while using terrain to block the big target. In solo, the terrain is essential. Asteroids are your insurance. If multiple contacts hit you from different angles, slip behind a rock, break line of sight, and force a column. Now you handle them one by one. When the escorts are gone, take the constellation. Break from cover, stay behind it, avoid the front with the 4 size 5 guns, drain shields, and finish the hull to meet the objective. Expect roughly 7 to 12 minutes per run. On our scale mission, 6 is also green with a plus. Recommended, predictable, profitable. If you bring a heavy fighter, or you are confident enough to avoid taking too many hits in a smaller ship. With over 150,000 aUEC per mission, you can reach close to 1 million aUEC per hour, if the server behaves. Mission 7 is now yellow and has no plus. It pays well, but solo it demands specific tools. We recommend a bomber like Eclipse or Retaliator to delete the hammerhead at range. Otherwise, the only efficient solo option would be an Idris with beam or rail, which is not a realistic recommendation. Heavy fighters or gunships like Constellation or Corsair can do it alone, but they take much longer and eat your time advantage. So we recommend Mission 7 only with those conditions met. Bomber tactics also do not always work. You need the right torpedo window, and on some servers that window is unreliable. Size 9 torpedoes are expensive and cut your net payout. In a team, the mission can be a nice event, but it is not part of a fast solo farm route, aside from the special ship exceptions we just named. The 200,000 aUEC look good on paper. In the same time, you can usually run Mission 6 2 or 3 times at 150,000 each, with less risk. On our scale, this is orange and basically nice to know for solo pilots. It looks impressive, but it eats time, solo and in groups. We recommend it as a multi-crew event. The Polaris you need to kill, plus its escorts, holds out for a long time against most ships. It only goes down quickly with heavy torpedoes, and even that does not always work and takes a while. In multi-crew, expect roughly 15 to over 30 minutes for about 300,000 aUEC split across the team. Fun and educational, yes. For solo money, it loses to missions 5 and 6. That is why we label mission 8 as nice to know. Great variety, great team event, not a core piece of a UEC-focused solo loop. Quick pit stop about Scrips. Everything you collect as Scrips can later be traded for Wikelo Favors. The math is simple. 50 scrips equal 1 Wikelo favor. What do you get? Mostly equipment and sets that pay off in everyday play, from robust armor pieces up to full sets. There are also components and even paths toward ships. For that, you will need broad material inputs from many activities. In that recipe, scrips are the easy part. Remember, Wikelo items last only until the next wipe. If this guide helped you, time your runs and tell us in the comments which ship cleared which mission the fastest for you. Thank you for watching. See you in the verse or in our daily live streams.